Welcome to a special episode of the G5 Hive, and boy, do we have something exciting for you all today. We have a very special guest joining us. He was born in France, but spent most of his younger years in Mali. He graduated high school at 16 years old and decided he wanted to study engineering in the United States. He chose to attend Santa Rosa Junior College. His first year, he was a full-time student. In 2022, he decided to come out and join the football team, where he practiced as a tight end and redshirted. He was selected as the Santa Rosa Junior College Freshman of the Year in 2022. He then made the switch to offensive tackle in the spring of 2023. Shortly thereafter, he attended a prospect camp at Cal, where he was named the offensive line MVP. Prior to the 2023 season, he was named the captain of the team, and after the 2024 season, he was named first team All NorCal offensive lineman. He is a mountain of a man at 6'9", 315 pounds. He is an offensive tackle for the Eastern Michigan Eagles. He is Dodji Dahoue. Welcome to the show, Dodji.
Man, I appreciate the introduction. That was really flattering. Yeah, how you doing?
I'm doing great. We're recording this on a Monday afternoon. I get to talk football and get to learn you more. So yeah, it's a great day, man.
Nothing better than football, for real. Nothing better than football.
Absolutely. Can you share with us what it was like growing up in Mali?
So, contrary to what people would think, like Africa, huts, and all that, it was actually very is a big word. It was developed enough so that you wouldn't really feel that much of a difference when I came here. So it's not that different, you know what I mean? Obviously, there aren't that many cars around. It's more of a motorcycle-centric society. I actually lived in two parts in Mali when I grew up. So when I was younger, I lived in Sikasso, which is like a smaller village-ish, city-ish. And then when I went to high school, I was in Bamako, which is the capital. So Bamako was obviously way more modern. You know, we had fast internet. We had, like optic fiber internet and, all those goodies, so it wasn't that much of a different, it wasn't that much of a culture shock.
What you came to the United States because you were interested in engineering. What type of engineering were you interested in?
So I'm studying mechanical engineering. That's my main focus. I think it's the best engineering, honestly. Electrical engineering, it's not it.
Like if you have to go down the career path if you end up going down the career path of engineering, is like, is there something in particular you want to do? Do you want to be like in the automotive industry, or?
I actually do not know, quite frankly. Like, I've thought about that question a lot, and obviously the big part, like, I really like the way medicine is heading, with all the new technologies and all that. So I think that'd be really interesting to dive into, but I quite frankly have no idea what exactly I want to do.
Gotcha. Well, engineers are needed all across the world. My background is an engineer as well, but I was civil, not mechanical. But civil and mechanical are fairly close. So yeah.
Sure.
All right. You have gone from France to Mali to Santa Rosa Junior College to walking onto the football team, and now you're playing FBS football with the Eastern Michigan Eagles. Can you tell us what that ride has been like?
It's been crazy, to say the least. It's been unexpected, that's for sure. Coming from Mali, like, we don't really, we have no idea what football is. My parents had no idea. Like, we could see it sometimes, like, when you're on Instagram, you're scrolling, you see like highlights. Like, I obviously saw OBJ's catch and all that on Instagram, but it's not like I knew the rules, or it's not like I had any idea of what was going on. And I actually remember the fall of when I came. So I came in 2021. So that fall, we had a football game at home, and I was still a student and had no idea what was going on. So I sat on the bleachers and I was just watching the game, and I was actually cheering for the wrong team because I had no idea what was going on, and I had no idea who was who. So it was kind of interesting. And then I met these two great guys on the team, and they just asked me to join the team. And at that time I was interested in sports, and I was interested in maybe playing a sport. And I was like, I guess football it is. So yeah, it's been crazy.
That's a pretty cool story. You attended that prospect camp at Cal where you were named the offensive line MVP. What did that experience mean for you?
That was even crazier, honestly, because it was a lot, man. It was a lot because I had just signed up for. So I think the camp was on a Saturday, and I think that Friday I was getting working on the field, and I was like, you know what? I mean, I have nothing to lose. I might as well just sign up for it because I wasn't really planning on signing up at all. And I was like, you know, I'm just gonna sign up for it. You know, nothing to lose. And then I was trying to get some of my teammates to come with me and to the camp, but no one really wanted to come. So I was like, I guess I'll just go alone. So I just drove down to Cal. I mean, it's not that far of a drive, so it was cool. Drove down there, and then I got in, and like I look at the offensive line, like the offensive line room, and it's just like huge dudes. Like I was like 250 at the time. I remember weighing at 250, and I was like, damn, I don't think I belong here. You know, like it's just like I don't think I can do this for real. So I was like, you know what, I'll just do my best, and we'll see how that goes. So few drills, one-on-ones, and all these things, and yeah, I was kind of a surprise at the end. Yeah, I was really excited. It meant a lot because a lot of work had been put into, you know, so it was awesome. It was great news.
Is that when it kind of hit you like, hey man, like I can really like make something of this?
Yeah, because it wasn't, you know, it wasn't sure. It's not like I was guaranteed to go to Division I play football. You know what I mean? So it's like
Yeah.
it's always nice to have like a little sign, be like, hey man, just keep going. You're like you're almost there. Like just keep pushing. You're almost there. So that was a great sign, honestly. I was really emotional on the way home. I was like, I called my mom and I was like, man, like this is crazy. Like I can't believe this. Like it was awesome.
So, you know, not only were you new to football, new to the United States, now you're being recruited. Like, how was the, what did you find or what did you like or maybe not like about the recruiting process?
It's more complicated than I thought it was gonna be, you know, because there are a lot of programs out there and there are a lot of changes that are occurring throughout the year, and coaches are leaving and coming and all that. And I'm actually really lucky because one of the tackles at Santa Rosa, our left tackle, actually had already been through a recruiting process because he went to Oregon, Jonah Miller. So he kind of guided me through, him and his father, you know, and actually the whole staff really kind of guided me through like what I should do, what I shouldn't do, and like what I should post on Twitter and what, you know. So I was really helped, and I'm really grateful for that. But it was a little bit complicated. I'm not gonna lie, it was more complicated than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, I'm
But it worked
sure.
out though. Landed up at Eastern Michigan.
So what led you to choose Eastern Michigan to further your football career?
We have a great offensive line coach. And I think he's the main reason, honestly. Like I actually really like the way we run our offense. First of all, the way our scheming, our schemes, should I say, and our blocking schemes are really, really. I don't want to say simple, but they're really simple if you really think about it, and it really pushes us to be more athletic in the run game, and that's kind of what I really love. Because you know, I'm at JUCO, like we junior college, JUCO. You probably know that we ran the ball in a specific way where like our double teams weren't as smooth as they are here. Like here we're really big on athleticism and just running off the ball and all that, and that's what I love, honestly.
Awesome. If you could pick any two offensive linemen to train with, watch film with, learn from, who would you pick and why?
I've thought about this question for a long time, like a very long time. I'm not gonna lie. So I came up with Penei Sewell, Detroit Lions, and probably Lane Johnson, because they're both different and they're both very similar. So what like Penei Sewell is an athletic freak, obviously. I mean, they both are obviously, but Penei Sewell is in my opinion more of an athlete than Lane Johnson. Lane Johnson is just very consistent and very technical. So I kind of want to learn from the both of them, you know. And I think that's awesome. And you probably expected me to say Trent Williams, but he's a left tackle and I'm a right tackle, and I will die on that hill.
That's awesome. When you study film and watch other offensive linemen, which things are you paying the most attention to? Their footwork, their hands, or
I think the feet are probably the most important things because your hands are not always going to strike right. Your hands are going to get swiped down. Your hands are going to get, you know, I mean, you're going to get forklifted. You know, it's going to happen. So I think working on your feet and like, I think that's the most important thing that I look in an offensive tackle when I watch film. It's like, what drills does he do, or like specifically right here, why did he take an extra kick, whereas he was already inside out relationship? Does he, like, is that film, like, did he study the DN and realize that he was going to go outside no matter what when there's this formation, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's kind of very interesting. I think I like watching, you know, feet, and I also like watching the hands, obviously, but it's pretty general. Like, I feel like most tackles have the same good tackles. I mean, there's no such thing as, anyways, good. I'm not going to go in that debate, but good tackles have just, you know, a lot of things in common. You know, independent hands. You know, one low hand, one high hand, one low hand. That's pretty much, you know, across the board. That's pretty much true for every tackle. You know, so that's all. Yeah, that's pretty much what I look at.
What do you feel is your main strength as an offensive tackle?
I think I have good feet. I think I have pretty good feet. Yeah, I'm pretty quick off the ball. I don't know though, you know. I'm not yeah. We'll see, I guess. The season's right here. I don't like talking about it because, well, we'll see, right?
What's an area of your game that you work on the most or want to improve the most?
I think one of the main things that I really want to improve is my power. So whether it's delivering power or absorbing power, I think it's one thing that, obviously, being a little bit tall, you know, taller, it's a main focus that me and coach work on. So yeah, that's one of the main things that I want to work on.
What are your goals for 2024 and moving forward?
I got a lot of goals, but I had like a silly goal, I really wanted to run a 4.8 on my 40-yard dash. So that's kind of just a random goal, but I really wanted to do that because I had done it in the spring, but I really want to, now that I'm heavier, I want to be able to still do that. So it's kind of an ongoing goal that I really want to hit, and I'm kind of working on it. But the general goal is obviously keep getting better daily. So working on that power is one of the goals. Getting my hands right too. Playing with length is one of my goals. Being able to perform better down blocks in the ear hole. It's, you know, I have just an overall goal would just be a better player. Obviously, right? You would hope so. That's your goal.
I mean, it's just hearing your story. I feel like it's amazing how far you've come, and it just really feels like the sky's the limit for you, right? I mean, someone that just started playing football not too long ago.
You know, it's God's plan. What can I say? You know,
Amen to that.
I don't think about it like that. Honestly, I don't think about it as oh my God, how far am I going to go in this sport? You know, it's really a day-to-day thing. It's a play-to-play. It's a step-to-step thing. It's you have no idea what could possibly happen, you know? And just like I treated the season when I was in junior college, like, I have no idea, you know what I mean? Like, all I can do is try to get better every day and do my best to be my best. So hopefully the sky is the limit, but, you know, all I can focus on is just getting better.
Absolutely. Although you were new to the team this spring, are there any other players that you think we should know about for Eastern Michigan before the 2024 season? As I was talking to you before we started recording, Tom Helmer, he told us you were his breakout player, but I wanted you to give you an opportunity to shout out some of your teammates.
I mean, if I could shout out the whole team, I really would. I really want to shout out the whole team. Shout out to the offensive line room. Shout out to our linebackers. Shout out to, you know, our receivers, our quarterbacks, and everyone. I think, how am I going to say this? Being on the offensive line, I'm not really aware of how good someone is at, like, receiver or, like, DB. Like, I really cannot tell you. But, like, I can tell you the D line. I can tell you the linebackers and all that. And I can tell you that they hit hard and they're strong. I can tell you that, that's for sure. But yeah, I've been watching. Like, sometimes in practice I'll just, like, look over and see what the receivers are doing. And I've seen this guy called Man. So Orion, he's pretty quick. He's pretty quick, and he's very fun to watch. But yeah, I really want to shout out the whole team, honestly.
All right. If someone has not seen you play, what one game would you recommend for them to watch?
Man, I don't even think you guys can find those games anymore because I don't think Juco film stays forever. But um, gosh, that's a great question. I think I guess Chabot when we played Chabot, I think all the games were really interesting. I have good and bads in every single game that I played. So, and that's kind of why my recruiting was, a little bit gamblesque. I don't think that's a word, but it's a little bit, of a gamble because you don't really, you know, um, I haven't been as consistent as, I haven't been perfect the whole long. You know what I mean. So that's why I'm really grateful for this opportunity to play at Eastern Michigan football because, it's kind of a blessing because I really do not know what I would have done. So yeah, I think Chabot is a good game. I think I played all good games, but there were bad moments in every single one of those good games. So it's like a kind of a yin yang thing.
If you could replay one of those games, which game would you replay and why would you replay it?
Sierra, I want to replay Sierra. Sierra was our last game of the seasons. So we didn't have a great season. But we won the last two games, and Sierra was the last game. And in fact, we have a rivalry against Sierra because we've beat them 3 years in a row. The last game of the season after having not so great of a season. So it's kind of like we gotta just keep that going. So last year we did beat them last game of the season, and it was just an awesome way to finish the season. Honestly, it was really a lot of emotions. Saying bye to I mean it's just sad because just that's the end. You know, and yeah, it's really sad in junior college because you really only have 2 years. You can stretch it a little bit, but you really have 2 years with people. So it's kind of sad to build some bonds and just having to leave. So yeah, it was a great game.
Which opposing defensive player was the toughest for you to go against and why? And it can be someone that you went against in junior college or someone that you go against in practice there at Eastern Michigan.
So when I was in junior college, we played this team called Butte. Uh, I think Aaron Rodgers came from there. I don't know. I think Aaron Rodgers came from there. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But Butte, yeah, we played Butte, and we started with a. I'm not going to make excuses, but situation wise, we were not good situationally because we needed points like right off the get go, and all we could do is throw the ball. So we had this they had this DN that would time the snap because we could only really do it on one snap because we had like a lot of false starts and all that. So we could really do one snap. So he'd time the snap and just run the loop. So that was probably like one of my toughest moments. And yeah, that was a tough game for me, man. It was man. It I remember that game till this day, and I probably remember it for the rest of my life. So yeah, it was tough. Number 50 from I don't know his name, but number 50 from Butte. I think it was 50. I'm pretty sure it was 50.
Right. Is there a particular routine that you have on game days or a particular song or artist that you like to listen to?
So actually, when I was in junior college and we had home games, we had this awesome, delicious, perfect Hawaiian spot called Ohana's, and I just go there before every home game, and it was fantastic. The food was great, and I'd make sure to get my carbs in and protein in, and it was awesome. So that's probably one of my main, which we call that, my main routine
Routines? Yeah.
ish, because it was only home games first of all, but I really felt it was awesome. It was great food. If you're ever in Santa Rosa and you want great food, go to Ohana's Hawaiian food. It's just great. Anyways, I listen to kind of like anything, honestly. I'm not real picky on that. I try to just take my mind off and just calm down. It's not that serious. It's all I can do is just do a bit of. It's not even about who you're facing. It's not about the DN. It's not about your offensive line. It's not about the opposing team. It's about you. At the end of the day, it's only about you. If I do my best, there's no one that can beat me. If you are the best, if you do your best, no one is going to beat you. So that's just all I can really focus on. Obviously, it's very hard to do your best all the time. It's almost impossible. Even the greats try and they fail. So It's one thing that, yeah, that's kind of my routine. Just calm down, think about yourself, think about, man, I'm just gonna do like. Also, one thing that I like to do too, I forgot to mention this. I like to watch film on like other tackles. Like I'll watch Penei Sewell film, and I'll watch Lane Johnson. I will watch Trent Williams film, but he's a left tackle, so it's different. But I do watch his film too.
Have you found a spot there at Eastern that you like to eat at?
I actually just got Jimmy John's. Jimmy John's pretty good. We got a like a restaurant type food spot called Sidetracks. It's pretty good. We go there pretty often, so it's really good food. Um, Actually, there's also another spot called Pokefish. I actually do not know what kind of food, and it's Asian food, but I do not know where exactly. But it's really good. It's really good. Hibachi bowl. It's pretty good. Fire.
So if you could have anything to eat, what is your favorite meal to eat?
Anything. I'd probably get tigedege. Tigedege is like it's like peanut butter sauce from like back home. It's really good. It's like a peanut butter sauce, and then you'll put some rice and then some chicken or other kind of. It's really good.
Awesome.
Top five, for sure.
What when you're not playing football and watching film and training, what else do you like to do? What hobbies do you have?
I be on the game. I love playing.
Nice.
I'm a big nerd, big geek, and I love playing the game. But it's pretty much the only thing that I do in my free time. I'm not gonna lie to you, except watching some videos about film and just watching a few videos. That's about it.
Are you excited for I guess is it July 16th or 17th when the college football game's coming out?
I'm not gonna be in it, but I am excited. Yeah. Uh, I've never really played like Madden or any of that stuff. I'm not gonna lie. So I guess we'll see if I get into it, but we'll see. All I can say, the only sports games that I played was like a little bit when I was back home was FIFA, like a little bit. I'd play with my friends because that's huge in Africa. That's huge, and I'm talking
Yeah.
like the whole continent. That's huge. FIFA is huge. So FIFA is their thing. I play a little bit of UFC, but right now the game that I'm playing is Rainbow Six Siege. I'm big on that. Do you know what that is?
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, it's a great game. Yeah, I've been on Rainbow Six Siege a lot.
I'm going to ask this question. I was trying to look at the controller. I'm assuming you're an Xbox guy, but is it PlayStation 5 or Xbox?
It is an Xbox.
Okay.
However, I don't want to take any parts in this. I only bought the Xbox because it was cheaper. I don't think I think they're both equal, honestly. I don't
Sure.
understand why there's a debate in who's the best console when it's the same thing. But yeah.
I think sometimes like it really comes down to like, sometimes they have exclusive games, right? And maybe you
Yeah,
like
we
some
have
of those games better. I mean, that's
true.
kind of what I've found. I'm a PlayStation guy, but it's not because, and I've had an Xbox before, but I've always had PlayStations. And so I don't know, just kind of what I grew up with, so that's
Right.
kind of what I gravitate towards.
Mm-hmm.
What do you miss the most from Mali? Obviously, other than, your family.
I think the weather. It's like always hot. It's always like 100-degree plus over there. So it's kind of a nice environment for outdoor activities. Um, the people are cool. I miss my friends. I mean, they're not there anymore, but um, yeah, that's about it. Honestly, I'm not from Mali. Like none of my family is from Mali.
Okay.
So like we just so happened to be there because my mom, had a job there. But like, I don't have any family in Mali.
Gotcha. So this winter, will this be the first time you've experienced snow?
Actually, no, no. So since I was born in France, right? My mom part of the family is in France, so
Okay.
we'd go visit them like all the time, and every winter, obviously. So I'd go skiing and all that.
Awesome, man. I mean, I'm just trying to picture like someone like your size skiing and like, I'd be like, I don't know, like it'd be pretty cool. I'm a skier as well. I enjoy it. You a skier or a snowboarder?
Ski. Yeah, I never really tried snowboard, but I feel like ski
I
is easier and just more. I don't know.
I agree. I've tried it twice. The second time I tried snowboarding, I caught a front edge, and like unlike skiing, when you catch an edge on snowboarding, like it just like it's like bam, like and you're face down on the ground. And you're like, what
Yeah,
the heck just happened?
yeah.
Knocked the wind out of myself, and I was like, that's it, I'm done. Give me back my skis. Um, if you could sit down and have a conversation with any three people of your choosing, they can be dead or alive, who would you choose and why?
Man, it's a tough question. So I actually wrote down the names, but it's just hard to settle on three people specifically. So I want to talk to Elon Musk because he's obviously a very high IQ individual who made a lot of good decisions, throughout his life. So it's very interesting to know what kind of decisions he made and why he made them and how he saw all the opportunities that he saw and how did he conduct himself and when the opportunity presented itself. So I think that'd be a very interesting conversation to have. I had Larry Allen, rest in peace. Larry Allen is actually from the Bay Area, and my head coach coached him and coached him for a little bit. So Larry Allen, probably one of the most dominant O linemen. I wouldn't say ever, but he's up there.
Yeah.
He's up there with the most dominant. So it would be really interesting to pick his brain about what does he go through mentally before a game and during a game and what kind of mentality and animosity does he have towards the defensive line and all that. And I think that'd be a very interesting point. And let me check what I wrote for the third one. But those two were my main people. And then I had, obviously, David Goggins. That'd be also a very interesting conversation to have, because although I've listened to his books and all that, I'm sure there's plenty of stories that he hasn't told and that he's keeping on, and I think it'd be very interesting to pick his brain about all that and like what is wrong with you, like what is wrong with you? Why are you running 100-mile races on broken legs? Like why are you doing that? And it'd be very interesting to have a conversation about that.
All right, that's pretty cool stuff.
Who would
Coach
you
Crate,
pick? Who would you pick?
um, I can tell you probably. I mean, I can tell you the first person I would pick. And I need to think about the other two. The first person I think I'd pick is Jesus Christ. I mean,
I almost wrote that down. I almost wrote that down.
I mean, someone I don't know, just so selfless and you know willing to sacrifice himself for the good of man like that. I don't know. It just amazes me that the stories in the Bible and such. And so he'd definitely be like my number one choice. Um, Probably my number two would be my one of my grandfathers. He passed away when I was pretty young. Um, and he meant a lot to me and my sister. And just he was a Viet he was in World War II. And I just like to talk about him, talk to him, pick his brain, and just like learn more about him and his life.
Mm-hmm.
And then third one, probably my uncle. Um, he passed away when I was in my 20s, but my parents got divorced when I was like 2 or 3 years old, and my uncle was like my only father figure in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And so he would take me hunting, take me and my sister and do things with us that like a normal dad would do. And I felt like I never really got the time or the chance to tell him how much I appreciated all that.
Mm-hmm.
And so just I'd love to have that opportunity to do that over again.
That's awesome. That's good stuff. That's meaningful.
All right. Coach Creighton comes in and says, "No need for pads today, boys. Grab your running shoes. We're doing laps." What position group does your mind immediately go to that caused it?
Linebackers. The linebacker group is them, guaranteed. What probably happened was that we called NFL tempo, meaning light contact or no contact. And what they would do is just tackle you. Because why not, right? Coach just said no contact, but why not just tackle you? So that's for sure one of the reasons. It's got to be. That's the only group that I pops my mind instantly is linebacker group.
That's awesome. I would tell you, like, the answer, you and one other person, we interviewed someone yesterday, and they gave us a different answer, but every other person we've asked this question has always said defensive backs, and even a defensive back said defensive backs. So, I appreciate a different perspective, but that one totally makes sense, right? Linebackers like to hit, so.
Hey, and we kind of need that, and we love to see them. We love to see hard-hitting downhill linebackers. It's cool to have someone that can do side-to-side, but at the end of the day, when it's third and short and someone's got to make that tackle, I want a, physical linebacker to make it. So I can't blame him,
All right. If you had to tell an aspiring high school player what is the hardest part of playing college football, what would that be and why?
I think so how am I going to say this? The worst thing / the hardest thing is probably going to be fighting the urge to quit. So that is hard. It's hard because you're going to be conditioning, and then it's going to be 6 a.m. and you're going to be a little bit sleep deprived, and then you're going to be a little bit hungry and then thirsty. And it's like, I can just stop right here. Like, why not? I could just quit. So fighting that desire / it's because it's more of a survival instinct, really. That's kind of what Davis Gargan was saying. It's like, it's not even your fault. Like, it's a natural reaction to hardship. Like, you can just stop, but fighting that thing, and that's just like, nah, like, I'm gonna get through this, and I think that's gonna be the hardest part, and that, we have freshmen right now, and they're dealing with that right now, when they're running stadiums, and it's like, shit, like, I could just quit right now, I could just stop right now, and it's really hard. It's really hard to fight that urge, and I think, like, the older you go, the older you grow, should I say, the easier it becomes. But when especially when you're a little bit younger, it's like you haven't really gone through a lot of hardship physically and mentally even. So it's like, man, I just quit right now and call it a day, So it's really hard to fight that urge, I would say, if you're a little bit younger. And but just keep going, man. Step by step, play by play, and that's kind of the only way you can think about it, honestly.
Well, Dodji, I want to thank you for taking some time out of your day to spend with us. This has been really awesome, getting to know you more and hear your story. So greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
Appreciate you for having me.
If you're watching us on YouTube, please hit that like and subscribe button. And if you're listening in podcast form, please rate and review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Thank you all for your support. And until the next time, we are the G5 Hive.